Hey folks, Phil Gallagher here for your daily dose of D&T. Got a rough start to this league. Let's see if we can improve. Ugh. Reluctant keep on a mediocre hand. We have 3 1-drops that I can play off a single plains if my opponent is playing a Wasteland deck. That's cool. The Flicker Wisp is the only card that's uncastable in my current hand. Alright, playing against Delver here is interesting. So, big question becomes, how do I want to approach Renin 6 in this matchup? Because I could just plan on revoking it, or I can plan on trying to stop them getting to it in the first place. And which one of those things good depends on whether or not they exactly have the card Force of Will. If they don't have Force of Will, then Wastelanding the Volcanic Island plus playing Swords to Plowshares is very good. They do have Force of Will, and I take this line. It's super awkward. I'm going to play around them having, or more accurately, I am not going to play around them having Force of Will. I'd really like to continue to hit land drops with this hand. But I think I have to, like, Wasteland there and try to take... So if anyone ever asks you why the Rug Delver matchup is good, show them that clip right there. Okay. So, when I've been on the draw versus Rug Delver, I've been taking on a much more controlling role than normal. And I've been boarding out my Thalias because they're very bad against Renin 6 on the draw. So I've been going Thalia out, Palace Jailer out, a Vial out, double Revoker out, and playing this list. It leaves me with 1 fewer creature than I'd like. I'd really like 20 creatures for the matchup. But it leaves me with the late game inevitability engine of Recruiter of the Guard plus Flicker Wisp, which I really do like. This video brought to you in part by Cookout. Not really, but Cookout if you're listening. Throw me money. I'll say good things about you. I'd probably say good things about you anyway, Cookout. You're fine. For $5, I get so much food. Alright, we're actually pretty happy that our opponent leads on a cantrip rather than a Delver with this hand. This is a hand that's a little bit soft to a Delver, but it's much better against like the Renin 6, Dreadhorde Arcanist, Tarmogoyf side of the deck. I'm probably going to have to jam this Rest in Peace on turn 2. Which I don't love. I would love to play that around Daze. But if I don't draw another True Drop, it's just necessary. Because, like, the rest of my hand is, like, Haymaker 3-mana cards. I don't expect this to resolve. I'll be super happy if it does. But at least we got 2 cards for it. The Council's Judgment I have. perhaps should not be played this turn. I think before my opponent has a creature in play and is like clocking me, I'd like to try to resolve this. Also, it seems to me like they could have just paid 2 mana for that Daze. Like, remember, like, Daze does have a mana cost in its corner. Alright. A relatively large Tarmogoyf plus Wrenn and 6 are threatening some harm to me. Let's see if we get this Council's Judgment pierced, and if it resolved, I'll have to like figure out what I want to do. The Wrenn and 6 is threatening ultimate in 2 turns. I think I need to get rid of this. Getting rid of this will also allow me to play the Flicker Wisp out to the board. And then Flicker Wisp plus the Sword the following turn will be very strong. Unfortunately, like, my opponent probably has, like, Lightning Bolt or another Wrenn and 6 or something. No. Just mono reactive cards over there. Maybe they're a Stifle version and I'll lose a Plains here. No? What's in your hand, opponent? There must be some things like Ancient Grudge that are situational and they can't really cast. I don't really think I have any choice. I think I have to go for this Sword. But I expect to just, like, have my mana eaten up this turn. I'm going to play this Aether Vial now while I can still play it around a Daze effectively. Just bolt it. Just bolt it. We know. We know. So now I'll be looking to draw something like a Tomic, a Swords to Plowshares, I think the Jailer's still on the board, right? Jailer's on the board. A Crusader would be great. Stoneforge would be great. Spell Snare is something my opponent might have since they're not taking any actions. This is a fantastic draw. Hardcast Force of Will. Stifle. That's a bit of a beating. I'll see if I can draw a Flicker Wisp and do sweet things with that. Tomic is a great draw. So I probably need to cast this Tomic, though. Okay, so I don't need to cast the Tomic. But casting the Tomic puts me in a position where I might actually be able to win this game. Not casting the Tomic and just like planning on viling it in and bouncing it with... No, I guess I do need to... So my opponent has this Wasteland, which is going to muck up my plans. I'm going to try to cast the Tomic and go for the highest upside play that I can. And that's like being able to go and block the Tarmogoyf, bounce it with Karakas, then vile it back in. I think if I just like vial in the Tomic and like plan on bouncing it with Force of Will, too much can go wrong if my opponent knows what's up and actually wastelands me, like with appropriate timing. You know, we had 2 good draws coming. So on the play, I'm usually keeping in my Thalias, even though like it's slightly awkward against Wrenn and 6. So on the play, I'm not playing Recruiters. I am playing Thalias. I'm only playing 2 Council's Judgment. So not in the deck. There should be Recruiter, Revoker, Vial, Jailer, and then I also take out the Prelate. So this leaves me with 20 creatures when I'm on the play, and something that manages my mana a little bit better. Keep. Aether Vial is really good. We're super soft to Force of Will this hand, but otherwise this hand has an insane Vial curve and a Haymaker card at 2 mana. I'm fine with jamming the Rest in Peace into every counterspell known to man, because if I don't play it here, I'm probably not going to be playing it for turns and turns. My opponent has 1 land, so I would love to draw like a port, a waste, or something of that nature. I think I'm just going to go ahead and pass. No need to get cute with my Stoneforge Mystic here. I don't want to give my opponent information that will help inform their decisions on their turn. So no shuffle. Yeah, that's fine. This is a fight that favors us, right? Like, now we just wait patiently. We'll leave that at 2, and we'll just do it again. We have sort of like answers for all their various permanents that they can have. And if they want to like keep playing the Stifle game, they can. I have Flicker Wisp to like blink the Stoneforge Mystic. So if they stifle this, again, not that big of a deal. Yes, I will use this ability. And Batterskull versus Sword of Fire and Ice is pretty close here. I think I just want to get the Batterskull. If my Stoneforge is bolted here, no big deal. Like, the rate this game is going is so very, very slow. Ancient Grudge on the Vial. Alright, well that's slightly annoying. We're going to play our Stoneforge to play around Daze, although it does play into Snare. I mean, yes, I accept that. Would you like to double Daze the Stoneforge? I'm all about that. Yeah, super glad we didn't play the Flicker Wisp there. Yeah, Delver not scary for us right now. We'll probably just Swords to Plowshares that immediately. And now we'll play a Flicker Wisp. Flicker our Stoneforge Mystic. They have the third Daze, like, good on them. So prior to that Wasteland, we were just 1 mana away from just, like, having Batterskull bounce forever as sort of a viable option. So now we'll just kind of play this one slowly. Try to run our opponent out of gas. And or get to 5 mana and hold up 5 mana forever. Or sorry, and hold up 3 mana forever for Batterskull bounce reasons. Opponent gonna Wasteland themselves again? They figured it out. So another thing we can do now is just, like, play out this Vial, potentially bait the Ancient Grudge, or alternatively, just use it to, like, tick up towards a Flicker Wisp and potentially protect the Batterskull in that way. I found a Wrenn 6 or something. Tarmogoyf. A Life from the Loam. You bet, friend. You bet. I don't really think that's where you need to be in this matchup. Like, you already have 4 Wrenn 6. So I think I'm just going to pass the turn here. You have a Tarmogoyf. Nice. So I will still go ahead and Swords of Plowshares that Goyf. Like, let's get that out of the way. And no need to expose the Mirran Crusader to a counterspell. We'll wait a turn on that. Alright, you have to have Stifle too here. Nope. Did you really not know? Okay. Yeah, that doesn't really bother me. Nice. My opponent is also through 3 of their 4 dazes. So I also feel very good about casting us Rest in Peace into mana next turn. Yep. There we go. So my opponent kind of got a little unlucky in that they didn't draw very many threats, but I don't really know that Life from the Loam is all that good in their deck. I wonder if this is just like a budgetary choice that is just like in there over a Wrenn and 6 or something. Oh, yeah, food for thought. Anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow.